good time. We're all having fun. Smile.
Welcome back to I Did This Instead of Killing Myself, stand-up comedy podcast based in Greenville, South Carolina. My name is David. It's the week of March 6th, 2023. Hello. Happy Monday. Like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. We're trying to grow the, I am. I'm trying to ask for subscribers now. It's cringy to ask that, isn't it? No, it's not. It's what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, we got a few more last week, and we're continuing to do the show, but want to get over 1,000, and we're over 300 now. So yeah, subscribe if you like the show and if you want to see more, because we're going to keep doing it. Thank you so much. Speaking of working hard in comedy and film, and getting a lot of headway in it, I'm very excited for our guest today. Hillary Begley. Hillary is one of our more famous guests. Very excited. Hillary originally is from Brevard, North Carolina. Now she's living in Asheville. And I've met her a couple of times. But she is an actress and a comedian. I'm not sure in what order. But she's been doing stand-up for almost 10 years. This March, actually I think March 10th is officially her 10-year anniversary in comedy. So she's been at it a while, and she's had a lot of success. So she's most known for her role in the Netflix movie Dumplin', which came out in 2018, starring Jennifer Aniston. Awesome movie. Really great. I'd heard she'd been in this, and I watched it before our interview, and it's really good. It got like a 90 or 89 on Rotten Tomatoes. Really good movie about a young girl. Hillary plays her aunt, and she finds her confidence through the pageant world. And Hillary has like a very prominent role. She's right on screen in the beginning, and it's a great movie. So super cool. She's done that. She's also toured the country as a star of the Feral Hogs comedy tour. And in 2022, she was a featured performer at the Boom Chicago Comedy Festival in Amsterdam. She was also in a different movie, When We Last Spoke, which won an award at the Austin Film Festival. Cloris Leachman is in it, and that's now streaming on Amazon Prime. So yeah, she's kind of a big deal. Look at all these credits. Most of the guests don't have any of that stuff. So she's great. She's super bubbly. She's super fun. And she's got a lot of great stories. So on this episode, we talk about her audition story for Dumpling. There's a story about cat piss in a Viola case at a late night after party. Hillary's a gracious host. She talks about meeting the drummer from Styx, her living room journal. We also talk about her upbringing, her religious upbringing, and kind of jiving that with her creative outlets in acting and stand-up, finding confidence as a performer, and a lot of other stuff too. Hillary's awesome. Glad I got to know her more in this episode, and I think you'll enjoy getting to know her too. So follow her at the links below. She also has a website with merch, hilarious.com. She has a lot of cool stuff on there, so check her out. Hillary's great. You can find her on stage in Asheville every week too. All right. Before we get to the interview, though, here's what's going on this week in local comedy, the week of March 6th, 2023. All right. Tonight, Coffee Underground at 7 o'clock. It's hosted by No Expectations Comedy. Comments get there at 6:30 or earlier to sign up. Tuesday, we have Sharky's Pub. That's downtown Greenville at 8 o'clock. Comics sign up at 7. Hosts Callie Patsafume and Amelia Nelson. Also on Tuesday, we have the Art Bar in Columbia, hosted by Patrick Fowler. That's an 8:30 show. Also on Tuesday, we have the Odd in Asheville, hosted by James Harrod. That's a 9 o'clock show. On Wednesday, we have Ben Jennings Presents Comedy at the Lounge. It's a 7:30 show. It's an all-girls show. So this will be a good change-up. We have a lot of great girl comics on this one. Alexis Ramirez, Madison Braswell, Melly Kazel, Amanda Neal, and headliner Katie Hughes in from Atlanta. Katie's great. All right. Also on Wednesday, we have Tom Emmons, Swamp Rabbit Comedy at the Open Mic VFW Post 9273 in Piedmont. 6 p.m. sign-up, 6:30 show. Also on Wednesday, we have the Disclaimer Open Mic in Asheville. That's an 8 o'clock show hosted by Carrie Goff. Thursday, Jokes Out Loud is back at the Comedy Zone. 8 o'clock show hosted by Brandon Rainwater. Sign up for that. It's every 5 o'clock on the Jokes Out Loud Facebook page. Friday at the Oconee Community Theater, we have host Brad Deaton bringing a comedy show. On this lineup, we'll have Ben Jennings, Will Kelly, Kylo Ren, and headliner Travis Thubbin. That's 8 o'clock at the Oconee Community Theater in Seneca. $8 at the door. Also on Friday, we have All Jokes Aside at Habiba's, hosted by Dante Anderson. That's a 9 o'clock show. And this weekend at the Comedy Zone, we have Brian Simpson. He has 2 shows on Friday, March 10th at 7 and 9, and 2 shows on Saturday at 6 and 9. Tickets available at greenvillecomedyzone.com. All right, that's it for local comedy. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy my interview with Hillary Begley. Here it is.
Because.
All right, grab that.
All right.
Hi, Hillary.
Hello, David.
Thank you for coming. Or no, I came here.
Thank you for coming. Welcome to my home.
Yes, it's very beautiful. What did you just grab? A squishy toy?
Oh, yeah.
Squeezy
Toys.
Are you stressed out?
No, I just like to play with them. I think it's the neurodivergence.
What is it? No, what
There's
is it?
more of them over there. They're everywhere, really.
Oh.
There's all types of toys to play with.
Yeah.
Oh, shishibo.
Can I touch these, or is this gonna
go for
affect
it. You're good. You can touch them.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, I have like fidgety stuff. I have a big problem with vaping and like an oral.
Vaping, yeah.
You don't do that, do you?
I don't vape because I smoke regular cigarettes. I try not to. And I don't smoke like a lot. But if I'm drinking,
Yes.
she only smokes when she drinks, you know?
Yeah, you're not a pussy like me. Like vaping, yeah.
Well, vaping it chokes me out.
Does it?
Yeah, every time I try to hit it, it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm about to hack my lung up. Hack a lung, you know?
Yeah, the coughing's been bad too. But I think because of the hand thing, I have like oral fixate.
yeah.
I need to kind of do stuff. Do you have that with the smoking?
Yeah. I mean, it's more about the act of doing it than the actual. Because I don't think I'm even addicted to the nicotine.
You're not? Really?
It's
That's
weird.
the best part for me.
The best part, yeah. I met this dude in New Orleans one time that just chewed nicotine gum, but he had never smoked before.
Yeah.
So usually nicotine gum is supposed to like wean you off.
Yeah, right.
It was so weird to me. I was like, because he worked out all the time and he was like really buffing in the gym and health conscious.
Just chopping
the shit. But he chewing on nicotine gum.
Yeah, that'll get you going.
Yeah.
You ever tried a patch? A
No.
nicotine patch?
No.
Dude, I did once.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. I heard you could kill somebody if you put patches all over their body.
Oh my God, yeah. It's poison. It's poison.
Good poison.
Yeah. So good in minimal amounts.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Hillary, I'm so happy that you wanted to do this because Did your agent say she wanted you to do more podcasts?
She did. She did, and I've done a few this past week. I did like 3 this past week.
Do you like them?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's. I really enjoy ones that have like themes or whatever, but no. But I also like this. How you're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I do have a question about the title.
What do you want to know about the title?
Because in Cody's, he asked you why you started the podcast. You said because you were bored. But the title is, I did this instead of killing myself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you ever been so bored you said, oh, man, I could kill myself. I'm so bored.
No, but I've been depressed. So I've been very sad.
Yeah.
But
okay. The real, I guess, origin of that name, I was very like insecure about wanting to start one because like when you start one, it's like,
I mean, the internet is so noisy, you know. I'm like, I keep trying to think. People are like, Hillary, I'm sorry I didn't listen to your podcast, or I don't listen to your podcast. I was like, I don't have a podcast, so I think I need one. Yeah. But then I'm like, what am I gonna talk about every week?
Just
that's
life.
Gonna be worth.
People want to know your life, Hillary. I'm sure.
Well, a lot of people know a lot about my life. Yeah. Sometimes I be forgetting. Sometimes I be forgetting how much of myself I have shared with some people.
Yeah. And then podcasting takes to a whole new level because you just get talking and then, whatever is out there.
Right after the movie, I did an interview with some guy I can't even remember his name.
Dumpling on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
I'll intro this before the episode
Okay.
and brag about you. But
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Seriously, every time anybody watches it, I make 7 cents. So just please watch it. You know?
It's a great
It's also
movie.
really good.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying.
Oh shit. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, there was a guy you met after a movie about the podcast.
I did an interview with him, right?
Yeah.
Like right after Dublin, people were really excited about it and they wanted all the informations. And like, he was asking me some pretty deep personal things like about my family and my mom and blah, blah, blah. And I'm never not going to talk about some of those things. But I told him in the interview, I was like, I'm okay with sharing this, but I don't necessarily want this plastered all over the thing. And then the entire article was about the sad and awful relationship I have with my mom. And I'm like, oh my God. So she already doesn't talk to me, man. If she reads this, she's just going to think I'm out here blasting everybody, you know?
Well, since we're on the topic.
What makes you cry at night?
No, we don't have to go deep. Although,
I mean, there are so many other things that are cool to talk about, probably.
For sure.
But it just like, that was also in the beginning before I knew anything about interviewing, you know, or like, I'm like, okay, you want to know me? Here I am. But then you're like, whoa, sis.
Yeah.
That's a lot of extra that people are not prepared for.
For sure. Well, it is a great movie. I'm almost done with it. I was watching it on the way here.
Wait, what do you mean you were watching it on the way here?
Well, I have a little mount.
While you're driving?
Yeah, Alexis hates this, by the way. I watch it. We carpool sometimes.
Dangerous.
It is. But I had to do research. It was your movie. So, you know.
Oh, you waited till today? You got a whole extra week, David.
I know. Well, I watched it last night, and I didn't quite finish it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But yeah.
Also, I'm just in the beginning and then a little later.
Dream sequences.
Yeah.
Do you come up again after the pageant scene, like at the end?
Well, no.
Okay. So I think I saw all of your parts.
Okay, yeah.
And I thought when I turned this on, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to maybe wait, like, I don't know what scene. And then the first frame, it's like, Hillary's back!
Yeah.
And it was really beautiful, the relationship you have with your niece in the movie.
Yeah.
How did you get cast in this movie? How did this opportunity come around?
I did a show at the Orange Peel where I opened for John Reap.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know John Reap. Yeah.
And a friend of mine shared the event poster on Facebook, and my picture was like this small at the bottom, this little at the bottom of the poster, and a casting director that she had worked with previously saw my picture, went through my Facebook, saw I did stand up, called my friend and was like, who is this girl? Can I have her phone number?
Right.
And my friend called me. She's like, listen, bitch, if anybody from Atlanta, LA, or New Orleans calls you today, you better answer it. So I was amped. I'm like waiting by the phone all day.
Yeah.
They didn't call me for like a week. But they did when they called me. They asked me for a stand-up video. I sent them one of the only videos that I had at the time. And it was from a show at the Gray Eagle.
Okay.
And they sent... Shelving. Shelving. Yeah, it catches everything.
I can't do it. So she called you Gray Eagle video. You said.
Yeah, I sent that. They sent that to Jennifer Aniston.
Wow.
Yeah, she thought I was hilarious because she was one of the producers for the movie.
Okay, so she's deciding on all the casting decisions.
A lot of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So she liked me and had them bring me in for a live audition.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Also,
so she called you?
She didn't call me.
Okay.
The casting director's assistant called me. And then the casting director like put me up in her loft. Wow. So I could work as a local in Georgia.
This is so cool,
yeah,
dude.
It was
I love
pretty
celebrity
cool.
interaction. And I don't mean to beat it. I'm sure you get asked about it a lot.
I'm terrible at that. Or I don't know anything about it.
I fangirl out whenever I see a celeb. But that's so cool. Okay, so tell me about the audition. So how nervous were you for this audition?
I wasn't, weirdly. Well, because I was... Mostly because I was pissed off because the girl that was and we're fine now, but I was real mad for a hot minute. Yeah. Because we had already planned to go down there. She was going to give me a ride. I didn't have a car at the time. She was going to give me a ride. I'd already booked the hotel. All this shit was ready to go. And then like the day before we're supposed to leave, she's like, actually, it's my only day off. I don't feel like doing that. And she just got drunk. And I'm like, wow. I was so mad.
So you didn't have a ride to the thing?
Yeah, so then I didn't have a ride, and I called.
Dude, that's the worst if there's like a logistical issue. Like when you're supposed to just be thinking about the audition.
Exactly. So I talked to a friend of mine and begged him to please take me down there because he was the only one that didn't have a regular ass job. And he was reluctant, but he did it, and that was that.
Do you think stand-up, like, had you done acting before that? Or was that like your
in school. I did. Like, I was in theater.
Wow.
I mean, I've discovered drama class in the 8th grade and knew this was what was for me.
Yeah?
Like, even my high school theater teacher, he said in his 30 years of teaching, I was one of the only students that he'd ever met that he thought could really make it in show business.
Yeah.
And he tried to get me to go to North Carolina School of the Arts.
Okay.
For my senior year, but I was an idiot. I was like, no, I got school spirit. Like, that was the dumbest shit. I should have gone, and then I'd probably be really famous by now because I'd already be on Broadway. But then, it's hard to say that when you're like, oh, the past is the past,
Yeah.
You can't change it now, so there's no point in crying about it.
So what did you do instead of going to North Carolina School for the Art?
I finished high school at Reynolds. Well, I sort of finished high school at Reynolds.
Okay. Is this in
here,
where is it?
Asheville.
Here in Asheville.
Yeah.
Okay, because I read you were born in Iredell, North Carolina.
No, I was born in Brevard.
Brevard?
Yeah.
Is that nearby?
Yeah, Brevard is close to here. It's like 45 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's the land of the waterfalls and home of the white squirrel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is beautiful.
Wow.
But yeah, I was born there, and then I lived in South Carolina with my mom's family is all from South Carolina.
Okay.
And so when I was 2, we moved to South Carolina in the house that she grew up in. And then I was there.
Sorry.
You're good. I was there until the summer of 12-13.
Okay.
And then I ended up moving in with my grandparents in Fairview, which is also right here.
Okay.
It's Asheville. You want some water?
I kind of do.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I got my jug. Just in case.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the water, Hillary.
Cheers, dear.
Cheers.
Boop.
Okay, so South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I was in a coughing fit as you finished the last part. You were 13, moved in with your grandparents?
My grandparents, my mom's parents. Yeah.
Okay.
But my family reproduced really young. So, like, my grandparents were the same age as all of the kids my age's parents.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, not to get too deep into the family stuff, but
Okay.
I was kind of wondering as I was watching the movie, like, did you have any connection with the story?
Absolutely.
That was maybe was it coincidence or did that like just naturally fit? Because the girl in the movie, she has a really strained relationship with her mom,
mother. Yep. Yes.
and she's like figuring out how to be herself and be confident.
Yes.
So like,
I had a lot in common with the feelings that Willa Dean had growing up and feeling that way about myself. And like, my mom wasn't pageanty or anything like that, but she did have a negative body image about herself, and so my entire life people, slow down, you don't need to eat that, boy, you healthy, them's big legs, you look big, my family, like, it's one of the things that everybody says is you big as hell, like copying Medea from Tyler Perry's, like, yeah, she's like, you big as hell, you big as a Buick. I was watching you walk down the hallway the other day, look like somebody put a refrigerator on your butt. Like, they just always. And then my granddad will be like, come here, baby, you gonna get fat and pretty like your nanny, like,
oh man,
it's shamed and celebrated at the same time.
Interesting.
So, I always grew up insecure about my fat because I thought, boys didn't like me because I was fat. And I think my mom prayed for me to be fat so boys didn't like me.
You want to protect, from the boys.
Yeah, I think that was it. But Willa Dean's whole thing. My grandmother watched the movie and she called me and she said she cried and she said, "Now that Hillary, that is Dumpling right there," because she watched me cry all throughout high school.
Yeah.
I wish I had an aunt that was like that, or like someone encouraging that was also big, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the movie you play the aunt,
right? And then I became that in real life too. So like when I went
to younger girls,
to my niece also,
niece?
yeah, like I was around my cousin and my brother's children like a lot when they were really little during the time in which I was started doing comedy and like being out all the time and like building a confidence for myself, and then the movie and all of that. So I'm like, I'm big, I'm beautiful, I'm like, this is good, wonderful, and like I didn't talk shit about myself in front of them, and I didn't even think about it working until I saw it with my nieces, like one of them.
So you had already been doing this role for them before the movie
before I even realized that. But it was clear, like it was absolutely evident, because one of my nieces they're both gorgeous, but one of them is very thin naturally, she looks like a Barbie doll, and then the other one looks more like me, and she is gorgeous, but that child has never one time even allowed the thought to go into her head that she was fat. She's like, fat who? Where? Like the little one trying to wear a belly shirt with fringes, she does too. She's like, and confident and whole and generous and kind and all of the things that like secure in herself,
Yeah.
It's really beautiful to see. I'm like, oh my God, how different would I have been
if you had a role
if I had felt better about myself at a younger age.
Yeah.
Like hindsight's obviously Trinity, but I think back a lot, especially like when I first started doing comedy. I started working out too, because I was like, I need to be thinner, and I did get like 3 clothing sizes smaller than what I currently am. And I look back at pictures, I'm like, damn, girl, you was beautiful. I was like, I wish I could get back to her. But the time in which I was her, I was miserable. I was miserable and self-loathing and hated it,
For sure.
And I'm like, God, what were you crying about? You wasted so much time and energy on that. And now I'm like bigger than I've ever been, and I don't give a flying fuck.
So you talked about, Willa Dean has to find her confidence, and she does that through the movie and the help of her aunt, which I don't want to spoil anything about what happens. But since you didn't have that, like, when did you find your confidence? Was it?
Well, probably because of comedy.
Was it comedy?
Because
you were doing theater too.
I did theater,
really
and I
helped?
did feel confident when I was on stage, and I've always been a performer. Like, my mom used to turn the TV off and make me stand in front of it, and she would film me like reciting poetry or nursery rhymes, whatever, like. Yeah. And I would recite my name and my address and my phone number and like whatever, telling stories, acting out things. I was like, look at me, look at me. Right. Like, there are home videos of them trying to focus on my brother, and I'm like, hey, Papa, look at me, but look at me. Yeah. Like, so I think I was always supposed to be a performer, an entertainer of some sort, you know.
But you still kind of lacked that confidence until comedy. Right. When did you get on the comedy stage for the first time?
That was actually March 13th, March 10th, 2013.
March 10th, 2013.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Wow.
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years is coming up. And it was, I performed at the Bar of Soap. It was a laundromat, and they just
a laundromat.
Yeah,
is that here in town?
Well, it was. It's on Merriman Avenue, but now it's a pizza joint. But like, it was a laundromat, but they had a bar in it also. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Jason Webb's mic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but Macon Clark, do you know him? He doesn't do comedy anymore, but we went to high school together. We were in theater together, and I can't even remember how I ended up running into him, but I had been at a party, and Pat Henson was at the party, and he ran one of the open mics that was in town.
Okay.
But I didn't know shit about that. I didn't know what an open mic was or anything. And I was telling a story about being a fat kid, you know, and like also being poor. And so I had to get the government glasses, the gold round rim glasses.
Yeah.
And then every time I would smile, my cheeks were so fat, they'd rise up on my forehead, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, that's funny shit. You should come and do stand up.
So you were just describing this to him. and
Yeah,
he
I
said,
was just
"Go,
saying
dude."
this at the party, but that's been my whole, like, even now, my stand-up, I do write stuff, like, but when I first started, everybody's like, Hillary, I don't know if I heard you say that on stage or if you said that to me hanging out in my kitchen.
You're like the same person on and off stage.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so great.
It is sometimes until you meet somebody that likes you on stage but don't like you in real life.
Wait, that's happened before?
Have you met Cody? He said it from the stage one time that he liked me, but not people like me. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
Because I'm loud and it's a lot.
Well, yeah, Cody's the opposite of loud.
Oh, I know.
I don't. Yeah, I'm friends with Cody. I think.
Yeah,
but
yeah, right. I mean, I think we are too, but
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
he's inside of himself off stage
Yeah.
and doesn't open up a lot to people, which is and then obviously he's hilarious. But yeah,
he is hilarious.
Yeah, okay. So you got on stage and was it easy right away? Did you feel like, okay, this is it?
I was nervous
I'm
as
myself.
shit.
I'm on stage.
I was nervous as shit, and I had a story prepared about I had done it was January, at the beginning of the January 1st through the 14th. I did a 14-day fast, like a juice cleanse thing. And then on day 12, my friend and I decided to drink a magic mushroom smoothie.
After a fast?
Bitch. Yeah,
Dude,
I did not.
How hard does the magic mushroom hit on a fast, dude?
It was so ridiculous. Like, we were outside. I was like, nope, I can't be in public. Like, I didn't take into account how hard it was going to hit me, you know? And it did. And like, we ended up going over to a friend's house and he like played us records until we got like back to normal, sort of. But then it ended up being like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, bitch, I know you're not eating still, but I'm hungry. So we going to McDonald's. I was like, I can't break it with McDonald's, you know? I was like, I was looking out the window like, Jesus, I got a banana at home.
Yeah,
I don't even like bananas, okay? I'm just like, I don't like it. And then we pull up to the window at the McDonald's and the biscuit wafts into the car and I'm smelling it. Bitch, I was ready to eat the bag. Okay?
For breakfast? This was breakfast?
It was, breakfast at like biscuits. And she's like,
Oh my
here, will you
God.
hold the bag for me
So
while
good.
I put mustard on my sausage biscuit? Because I wasn't going to eat it. I didn't get anything. She's like, I don't care what you're doing. I'm eating. And so she's laughing at me and I am crying. I was like, if this ain't a fat girl fail, I don't know what is. Because I wept over a sausage ass biscuit.
Yeah.
So I tell this.
Yeah, that happens. When
Yeah.
when the emotions flow
Oh, yeah,
out.
right,
I have
absolutely.
wept. Especially
wept.
the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the story.
Wept
that
over a biscuit.
Yeah, over a sausage biscuit, which is funny, right?
Yeah.
So I tell
Yeah.
that story, and then I got off, and Macon goes, nobody wants to hear shit about you tripping, Hillary.
Did it work though? Did people laugh?
Oh my God, yeah, people laughed. I did great. And then
yeah.
I did great for like 6 or 7 more times. And then I had my first bomb and I wept again. I went like my tears were hot my face was hot from my tears before I could get out the back door of the Southern. I was like, I gotta go. They all had a running bet that I wasn't never coming back again.
What happened with the bomb?
I don't even remember. I just
the
remember
vibe
it
of
was,
them just not.
I
not-
think I tried to
not
tell a story
screwing
about
with
my
it.
granny seeing my granny beat 2 cats in a burlap sack against a brick wall.
So they
But
didn't
also-
like beating cats.
Yeah, which I knew that was not the point of the story. I told the story because the
Yeah.
point I was getting to was why I can't deal with cats, and that's because I think that the 9 lives of the cats, they told other cats that I watched that happen and didn't fix it, and that's why they all hate me. You know, that's like, it was more about my current relationship with cats, because they're like, fuck you, you didn't help us at all, and I know you watched us die, you know.
So the cats don't like you. It's not about you not liking
Right.
cats.
And I thought that would be funny, but it is Asheville. And they were like,
I think it's funny.
well,
think
it
it's
did not
funny.
go over well
I-
at that moment.
I like cats now, but I don't think I liked cats as a kid.
Yeah,
They
well, my mom
scared
was
me.
always scared of cats, and and then, my God, when I had my first apartment here, my roommate had a cat named Ubi, and he was a
Ubi.
Hemingway cat with the opposable thumbs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's
he was
scary.
he was a nice cat, I
Cat can hold a
thought, sometimes,
microphone.
and then I would wake up and he would have opened my bedroom door, and he's just sitting in the doorway staring
Wait, he
at
could
me.
open the door?
Yeah, because he had a thumb.
But they actually
could turn the knob, and it
Dude.
scared the dog shit out of
Yeah.
me. And then he pissed in my purse. And it was like it was a nice purse that was gifted to me by this rich old lady.
Yeah.
It was something that I would have never been able to afford on my own. It was like lamb skin leather, soft. It was
Dude, it's crazy. It's like they know.
yeah,
It's like they
right.
know
They're like, this is important.
how
Let me
valuable this
shit
is.
and piss all on it. And you can't get rid of cat piss, especially a boar cat piss. You know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't go. We left it in the sun. We sprayed it down. I'm like, please. It got my MAC lipstick. Oh my God. I was so mad.
Dude,
And
that cat's
so-
a menace.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. He had done some. He almost started World War III at that apartment. Like, it was. I lived in this apartment. It was right over across from the Harris Teeter on Merriman.
Okay.
And it's called the Jefferson Apartments. It's a cool brick, like U-shaped building, and it has a courtyard, and it was a tuberculosis hospital back in the day, and they
Okay.
changed it and made it into a park. So it's like the whole place has got cool vibes to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Creepy, but cool. And it was me and these other 2 girls, and it was the first time I'd lived on my own, really. Like, and we had a great time. It was one of my most favorite places I've ever lived. We didn't even have a TV. Like,
Yeah.
and we just like talked to each other and hung out. We were all pretty social, and
This sounds
it
like
was
great
the-
Asheville vibes.
I know,
No
yeah, but it was
TV,
also like
conversation.
yeah,
watching some
conversation
movies.
games. Like
Yeah.
one of my roommates played cello, and like
Dude,
yeah, you
so
know,
cool.
like it was cool. And then like one was an artist, and I cooked and was
Cooking's art.
entertaining. Yeah, that was fun. And but this was also when it was the closest I'd ever lived to downtown or to town, period, my whole life. And so I went through this phase of habitually bringing back everybody from the bar to our apartment. Like, let's keep this party going. Because
People you didn't know?
I knew that. I met them out, and
Yeah.
Asheville's small, and like we went out all the time. There was something to do every night, and
Right,
so like
right.
we had our crew of people that we would see out,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, I'd bring them back. But one night there were a bunch of us there, and we were all happy about it at first, and then I'm in the kitchen making myself another drink, and one of my roommates comes in, the cello player, and I have the freezer open and my glass is sitting there with my liquor and I'm putting ice in it, you know, and she slams the fucking door closed. The glass shatters everywhere, wastes the liquor. She's like, one of your fucking friends spilled their goddamn drink in my cello case. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. They're all of our friends. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And my other roommate, she was drunk. She comes in. She's like, well, we only have vodka or whiskey. I can figure it out. And she goes and swipes her hand through the cello case and sniffs it. Fucking cat piss. It was cat piss the whole time. Her motherfucking cat pissed in her cello case. It And she done freaked out on the whole party.
That's the same cat, right?
Same cat, yes, Ubi.
Friggin' who?
Yeah, he was a menace.
So the girl did and
She smit it.
She
She's like,
wiped
"Oh my
cat
god,
piss.
it's cat piss." So we figured it out, but it was too
gosh.
late. She had already freaked out on the whole party.
Yeah.
People were like, "Damn, your roommate's crazy. I'm out of here, Hillary."
Dang. Yeah, dude, I would invite people back. I still do that. Like, I'm downtown Greenville now,
Oh, yeah?
and like, so it's near bars and stuff. I don't drink anymore. So
Okay, how long has that been?
2.5. Well, 2 years. It'll be, I guess, yeah, 2.5 years.
Okay.
About the same time I've been doing stand up, but yeah, I used to invite people back and be a little too open to
Yeah.
invite people.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of the reasons I quit, because now I'll still have people over, but I got my wits about me a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
better.
yeah.
I'll still invite everybody, but like, you know, the last day I was drinking, I was just stumbling downtown Greenville. I was waiting to get back surgery, so I was just
Oh, man.
yeah, I
That's
had a
a
lot
lot.
of chronic pain and stuff. And the day was kind of like a fog, but then I remember at the end of the night when I was about to pass out, there were people in my apartment that I didn't know, and then I woke up and not knowing what had happened, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's messed up, dude.
That's
I can't be."
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, what kind of judgment is that? So,
Yeah.
but it's good to
Luckily-
include people though in general though.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause
luckily,
fun stories happen.
I
Fun
have
stuff
some really
happens.
good, like we had a good circle, you know. So like,
Yeah, you got to have that. I
even
think.
if there were strangers there and I did pass out or one of the roommates, like nobody was gonna let
yeah,
you know just random ass people stay without knowing.
right.
I did end up because of this party girl time. I ended up meeting the drummer from Styx, the band.
See, would you have ever met the drummer from
Right,
Styx if
never
you
would. He
weren't
signed my
wilding
living
out?
room journal, but
That's
I also
awesome.
didn't know what Styx was.
didn't?
No, I grew up very sheltered and in church, you know.
Yeah?
So like, I just
Okay.
didn't know, and it was
Styx
he
is
would come.
good
He like.
vibes.
We had a bunch of people come over and we were partying, so like we were participating in extracurriculars or whatever. But it wasn't an abnormal thing to bring a bunch of people home, and then if they were hungry, I'm like, it's okay because I can take whatever was in the
Yeah.
refrigerator and make a meal to feed a bunch of people.
For sure.
And like my mom calls that taking poo and making pound cake. And so I would take whatever we had and make food. And like this night, Styx guy's there, and he asked me for a plate. He's like, "May I have a plate, dear?" And I was like, "You hungry, baby? Yeah, I'll feed you." And he was like, "No." He just wanted a plate to
Right.
do drugs off of.
Oh.
And I had no idea. And then this man passed around a plate like it's Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody's like, okay.
Oh my!
It was wild. But he signed my
Dude.
living room journal. And then my friend that brought him
You
there
have a living room
left
journal?
him.
What's that?
Well, I can't find it, but it was one of my most prized possessions.
Okay.
And I've tried to like recreate it since then, but it doesn't.
Okay.
It hasn't worked. So it was this just like a journal notebook, like sitting over there.
Yeah.
But anybody that came to our house, I would have them make an entry into it or sign
That's
it or
really
write it.
cool.
It was. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a whole lot of drunken nonsense in there, like just crazy shit. But like, I had this guy, like my neighbor, he was a spoken word poet and he wrote some beautiful things in there. And then I had people draw amazing things in it, like, and then I had left notes to myself and like
Yeah.
like where someone had left something and then I just come back and respond to it or whatever, just
Yeah.
to keep the memory or make it so. And my dad came to well, I kidnapped my dad because he doesn't drive, and I brought him to the house, and like, I don't know why, for whatever reasons, I gave him mushrooms and I shouldn't have done that. And then he left the next day and I was like, "Dad, you didn't sign my living room journal." And he was like, "Yes, I did." And I go searching through every page. I'm looking for some sort of father-daughter wisdom or whatever.
Yeah.
All he wrote in lowercase letters, "No more mushrooms," with 3 exclamation points.
Boo, Dad.
I was like, you could have done better than that.
Oh man.
I don't know that he could though. I love him, but that ain't his strong suit.
I love stuff like that.
But yeah, my
Sentimental stuff.
living room journal was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to get another one for
You're-
here.
yeah.
Jason Webb signed my living room journal.
Yeah.
It was right after the first night that we did, or that I did his show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he invited me out he bought me a hot dog.
Yeah.
To talk about comedy because I was broke as fuck. I was like, I'll go talk with you, but I don't have money for nothing. He's like, I'll get you a hot dog. And we came back not here, but to the apartment, and he drew a stick figure with giant feet and a mic stand, and it said, "We are the same person." Because of the accent, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And also, his dad is a pastor, and my grandfather is a pastor.
This is okay. So this part, I'm very interested. So you grew up religious and sheltered. You said I also grew up religious and sheltered.
So here we are.
And here we are. Look at this. How do you feel about it now? Are you still religious in any capacity?
No, not like that. I am. What do you say? I do believe in a higher power, but I don't. But not really. Not like a
personal,
like a list of. Yeah. No, I think that all religions, the most ancient and the newer, they're all just mankind's way of trying to personify what they see around them, you know? And I think that the idea of God or enlightenment is just the interconnectedness of all human beings and nature. And so once I was outside of the box of salvation and hellfire and brimstone, I couldn't. I still get moved by the music, you know, just because the idea of forgiveness is a beautiful one, you know, but the idea of having to be forgiven for sins, even though you were born into it, I think
that's a tough one.
Yeah, I think
that's a big pillar
absolutely
of the Christianity.
Absolutely,
the guilt
it
and
is.
shame aspect,
right?
is a rough one.
I just don't subscribe to that anymore because for so long I felt so shitty about myself that I was bad. Every thought I had, every feeling that I had, I thought was bad and wrong. And then when I felt like I was moved and I was on the right page with, you know, not living a righteous life or anything like that, but where I thought I was connected with Jesus and I was living and breathing and believing the way my family had taught me to. Yeah. Right? And then they were shitty. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
And then I moved out to California and met a Jewish guy that was the nicest person. I was like, wait, so you mean what you say and you live by it? You can't be bad, you know?
Yeah.
And I felt like I got the Holy Ghost in the backseat of a Honda Civic looking at the Pacific Ocean for the first time.
Yeah.
So that changed my perspective on all of it.
Yeah.
Like, I do like some of the ideals, you know, of, you know, love. Yeah. But that's just not.
But love kind of contradicts the shame part of it, or at least how it's internalized or how it's kind of taught. I mean, I feel I watched I call it, if a TikTok is educational or inspiring or whatever, I call it reading TikToks, not watching them. But I was reading one and this girl said that the voice of God is giving power to your own insecurities. Like, it's like a religion how did she say it? It was more eloquent than that and made sense. Whereas what I just said did not. Gives power to your insecurities?
Well, religion is giving God or giving someone, oh my God, what is it? It was basically like your conscience, you're taught that it's the voice of God, but that voice is only there to pinpoint what you're doing wrong or what insecurities you have. And then you try to fight that.
Yeah.
Like like we're breaking free from the chains, but it's chains that we put on ourselves first.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
had to lock ourselves into the chain and then be like, please take these off of me.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Dude, that's
right.
on point.
Yeah, well,
Because as a little
it
kid,
stuck me.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you know, as a little kid, I really took it to heart, and kids do.
Yeah,
and
right.
You really feel you're a sinner. That's who you are.
Yeah.
That's a definition of your identity.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. And if you speak against it, then them's fighting words, you know? Like people have gone to war for it. Like
Yeah.
I can't even talk to my family because my grandmother, like they all are praying for my salvation. Like they think I am in the miry pit, you know? I'm in the depths
I'm
of it.
sorry they feel that,
But I feel better than I ever have during the time in which I was there.
Yes.
Like I feel more connected to spirit than I did before.
For sure. And I don't want to like parse, because a part of me thinks the rejection of it is the dogmatic teaching of it, as opposed to maybe they just got Christianity wrong, or they got like what it means wrong in terms of how they're teaching it.
Yeah, because it's about power.
Yeah.
And it's patriarchal.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
It's being patriarchal.
Yeah, I mean, like all the way through the Bible, women have no rule. Like they have all the rules. They have no rights. Like, and the ones that they do write about, like they had to be allowed to do or think or whatever.
Yeah.
So like that alone, I think is wrong. You know.
Yeah.
But the way that people in the South believe it.
Yes.
As if it were, literal.
And not just the South.
I did. Yeah. I mean, there are everywhere,
I'm from
but
Michigan,
it ain't.
Midwest even.
Yeah.
There's definitely a presence there. And, there's a lot of good in it, too. It's just what I come back to is like what you said, exactly what you said, because it's this fighting, this like restlessness of like, oh, I want to be good, but I can't be good all the time. Oh, I jerked off. I'm going to hell. Like,
yeah, right. I jerked off. I'm going to hell.
Sexual shame, integrating that in a healthy way. It's virtually impossible. With the purity. So it's like a lot of that. And it was just, I just had so much anxiety. And meanwhile, I was still having fun. And then I'm partying and hating myself for partying.
For after, right?
Yeah. And it wasn't until after I started doing comedy where I just said, F it. And it kind of gets to the name of the podcast. Like I'm just so at a loss with everything else. I'm going to put myself out there.
Yeah.
And that was very hard for me. But once I started doing it, and it felt like very freeing, and it felt like the friendships that opened up to me and the people, and it worked. And then they were shitty a little. They were like, ooh, and I was like, that's wrong. Like if this doctrine is right, I should be feeling shitty. Like this shouldn't work in the world.
Yeah, right.
If that doctrine's right. So that was the same epiphany I had. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't know about God. Like I'm still kind of agnostic about it, and I want to believe. But certainly not in the program of the
right.
child.
I don't believe in organized religion.
There you go.
Of any sort of them, really.
Yeah.
I'd rather go with the principles of Fern Gully or some shit. Like.
It's weird too because there's so much more to life too. Like life is the interactions.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God! Yeah,
There's
well,
so
just
more.
culture alone, like even Jewish culture being so different than it's still Abrahamic or. I don't know. Idiot. But
I was tracking.
Yeah, I just it's beautiful and it's interesting, but I'm like, it's so different still. Like I just don't understand.
Yeah,
I forgot. I lost.
But in actual life, though, how many times are you talking to somebody and you have to like get down? Okay, what do you believe about this tenet of this faith? Or same with politics. How often do you actually talk about an issue? Where
too often people are talking about it. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Who gives a shit? Most go to the grocery store, live your life.
Yeah,
have fun. Talk to people about themselves.
But this
90%
is part of it.
Of the time.
This is part of the opening. Is like sharing conversations and experiences with people that are not the same as you.
Yeah.
You know, that's how my whole perspective ever shifted.
Yeah.
And like,
if you're going to talk about having open, honest conversation,
yeah,
my way's right.
My way, right. How can my
the
way
enemy
right
part.
if you, another person that I admire and I love and I respect and I see and believe in, just because yours is different or your, like how you get to where we're going is different than mine, doesn't mean that you're wrong. And how arrogant would I be to believe that? I can't like.
Yeah.
Once that changed. Well, actually, it was also part of me moving in the 8th grade. Like I went to school in South Carolina and it was a very poor, very small, tiny, like all the kids rode the same bus from kindergarten to 12th grade, you know, like.
So you knew all the kids all the way through.
Everybody knew everybody and everybody was in everybody's business and like it was, toxic and problematic all the time. And then I moved to North Carolina and I ain't never seen that many different kinds of white people. Like it blew my mind. I was like, wait, I learned.
So your world opened up. You had like a small.
Yeah, but once it's open, you can't get back in the box.
Dude, I know.
Even though I tried to like conform and do what I thought was right. And then I was in my prayer and meditation and like also like trying to achieve whatever the church goal was and it never felt right.
This was 8th grade when you started.
Well, 8th grade is where I met all these different people, and my friend Dorothea, it's Christian, but it was Greek Orthodox Christian.
Yeah.
And she like opened my whole world. And then her mom was so different than any of my family. I was like, whoa, this is crazy,
Yeah, for sure. It is weird when your world opens up too, because I feel that same way about my hometown. Michigan's where I'd lived. I moved to North Carolina in 2014.
Okay.
And then moved to Atlanta. And then
wait, how old are you?
I'm old, dude.
You're old, dude?
Yeah, I'm 34.
I'm about to be 37, bitch. Get out. Get out. He said I'm old, dude. I was like, what?
I'm old.
No. Okay.
I didn't know you were that old.
You didn't know I was what? That
37's not old. I'm sorry. 37's not old.
Yeah, I know.
No.
It's like
But yeah, I moved
50's the new 30.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going on TikTok to go anti-aging stuff. Like,
oh, yeah.
yeah, moisturize,
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I moved, I always felt like things open up, and then you go back to your hometown and compare because you visit every year, and you're just like, things are different and
everywhere, and they're all different, and then it's all the same, like
true.
But it's so much more fun to get to see and meet. Like that's one of the things that I love about comedy the most is like, even though it doesn't always pay that great, I have been to so many places and met so many different people, man.
So you like touring?
Oh, I love it.
So you tour nationally, but do you have a circuit you do? Like, do you stay in the Southeast?
I do a lot of stuff in the Southeast, but I've gone. I mean, we went west on one tour, all the way across the whole country into Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then back and the other way.
Okay.
And I've been out to Kansas and Oklahoma a couple of times.
Okay.
But I'm working on it. I would like to go all over, but I have to find where the pay is worth the travel.
Sure.
Sure.
How do you like touring? Because I've never gone on the road or anything. Is it lonely? Is it? Because part of what
I hate to go, I don't go nowhere by myself if I can help it. If I can help it,
I forget what.
I bring like lots of different people. Bridget, and the first time I went on a real tour, Bridget booked it, and it was me and 2 other fat white girls. We called it the Feral Hogs Tour.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the first one, and like everything was popping off. Every single place that we did, they loved us. Like we had people asking for our autographs and shit. I'm like, yeah, I got you, baby. They wanted to see Dumpling. They were buying our stuff. Like it was great. And then we ended up booking a lot more stuff. We had dates booked all the way up to July 2020.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, guess I'm just going to Florida because they don't give a damn.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that ended up being what I did the next year.
Yeah.
Do
you remember the first time we met?
No.
Because I remember.
Okay, tell me. Was it here?
No.
Okay.
I think you'll remember this
Oh
night.
my God, I know Exactly.
At Habiba's Mediterranean restaurant.
The fuck was she thinking?
And Kelby Tidy, who doesn't even do stand-up anymore. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
He's the guy with the chain.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He booked you on this show, and people that listen and know about Habiba's. But, dude, this is like a hole-in-the-wall Mediterranean restaurant.
Yeah.
And I think you got there as like, this established comic in a movie with Jennifer. And you come to this show, and it is like...
I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I was like, Bridget, where did you find this?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what is that? And I invited, actually, the guy that's the spoken word poet that was in my living room journal. Yeah. He had just moved to Greenville, and I was like, please come to my shows. I'm doing so great. It's gonna be la la la.
Did he come?
He did.
Oh no!
I was so embarrassed.
Oh no!
I was like, well,
dude. Not only was that like a rough show, but he put you on last. And there was like a bunch of terrible
comics had even left. Like, and it was
like
rough.
An open mic.
It was,
and not even a good open mic.
No, it was rough.
Oh,
I was like, well, here I'll lay.
No, it was so great of you to still like do the show, do great.
I mean, it was shit, but I'm still like, I don't care. I will do a mic anywhere, Right. I did one in Brooklyn on the sidewalk on a milk crate, you know what I mean? And I got paid $6 for that one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm making it.
Kelly paid you, right? I think.
I don't think so.
All right, well, I'll have to. All right, Kelly.
Yeah, gotcha. I don't think so. But anyway.
Fuck. Okay, well, that's not good.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it was cool.
Also, that was so long ago.
It was very long ago. I think that was 2020. So, anyway, so you've been everywhere, and you've been to Amsterdam. I think you did a trip to Amsterdam.
That was this past July. I went to Amsterdam and Paris.
And did you have that, like, how did you organize that? Was that just for the moment? Did you have bookings
it was a comedy festival called the Boom Chicago Comedy Festival, and that's an English speaking club in Amsterdam that was established by two people from Chicago. Okay. I cannot remember their names right now, but and it was stand-up, improv, storytelling. It was a whole bunch of stuff.
How were the crowds there?
Amazing.
They took to you. There was no like the cultural differences. I was really
worried that it wasn't gonna translate, but it was great. They ate it up. It was nothing I said was relatable necessarily, but it was fascinating for them. They were like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I went to Amsterdam last July, or I think August, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm very Dutch. I'm like almost 100%
Dutch.
Okay. So I was like, I've never been overseas.
I'm going home.
I'm going to meet my people. And they're going to look like me. And there's going to be like, it's going to be cool.
Did you ride a bicycle?
I didn't ride a bike.
Well, I tried.
You did?
And I couldn't. I was like, do I not know how to ride a bicycle anymore? It hurt. I was like, Bridget, sorry, you're going to have to go by yourself because I'm not going.
Dude.
It was sad.
They all ride bikes there.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was just walking around like along the canals or whatever, and there was this kind of town square, and then there were a bunch of dudes in orange soccer jerseys just getting shit faced and wilding, and I was like, I am from here.
I am from here. It's pretty cool. Like, actually, most of the locals there are fairly calm. Like, because they actually have a lot of rules. They're just not really enforced. One lady that booked me on one of the shows, she was from Arizona, but had lived in Amsterdam for like 14 years. And she said that you would have to all but be naked running through the street, like causing a ruckus for them to like stop you. Yeah. Because it blew my mind how clean. Like people were smoking everywhere and no cigarette butts. Like everything was clean. There were no homeless people anywhere. Like even in the rough, in like the red light district, there weren't.
Did you check that out at night? Yeah. I did. Yeah, I took a walk through there. I didn't.
I did. I'm like, this is literally window shopping for people right now.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't see myself.
But Bridget also had me scared. She was like, you can't look at them for too long or the guys will bounce you or like that. And I'm like looking up and then looking at the ground and looking up and looking at the ground. I was like, I don't know why we're walking around if I can't look at nothing.
Yeah, there were some hot women.
Oh my God,
windows.
yeah. Some of them were just standing there on their phone. But then we went to a strip well, they called it a strip center. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
In Paris, and it was like a Moulin. It was right by. It wasn't the Moulin Rouge, but it was right by the Moulin Rouge, and it was so grimy. Like the girls were like sitting at the bar on their phones. They looked like they didn't want to be there at all. Yeah. And none of the dances, they were just like, yeah, whatever. And it near ass nor titty anywhere. I was like,
really?
I mean, it was out, but they didn't have none. They were just skinny. I was like, this is. Did we pay money for this? We did.
What's the best?
But they also don't they don't get tips like strippers here.
Okay.
Like
so they're just on the
clock. They get paid an hourly wage.
So they're not gonna go above and beyond.
But the bathrooms were terrible. Like some of the toilets didn't even have seats. I was like, nah.
Oh man.
We got to get up out of here.
Yeah. How did you like Paris overall?
I mean, it was cool. It was beautiful too. Like the architecture was amazing.
Yeah, we went there. We stopped there too.
And I got to meet Gerard Carmichael outside the club. Gerard Carmichael, he just had a special drop called Rothaniel on HBO.
Okay. I know the name.
You do. He had the Carmichael show.
Okay.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's fucking amazing.
So you met him?
I met him. He was walking around outside and well, first we were downstairs in the cave of the comedy club and the green room area. And the guy was like, what did he say? He said, I'm not going to bump any of you guys or like, I'm not going to take your time away, but Jared Carmichael is here and he might go on. And I was like, I don't know who that is. Jared Carmichael. And Bridget was like, yes, you do. You're obsessed with him. I was like, who is it? Gerard Carmichael. He was like, oh, I didn't say it right. The French guy was like, no. And I do know who that is. Where is he? What do you mean he's here?
Yeah.
And so I went upstairs and I'm like, just smoking a cigarette, waiting to see. I'm watching him walk around. He's on the phone. He's got a comb pick sticking out of his hair. And he just looks so cool, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to do it. And then I finally did. And he said, you sound like home because he's from the South. Like his show, the Carmichael show, it only had a couple of seasons, which was dumb because it should have gone on and on. It was so good.
Yeah. The good ones
but
always
it's
make
based in Charlotte, North Carolina, is where it was supposed to be set.
Okay. If you want to watch that, where's that on? Do you know? Amazon probably.
Amazon for sure.
Get anything on Amazon.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I can't remember.
Dude, I love Paris. Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was like you said, the architecture, all the stones are the same color. They like
right. Like I could have walked around for like I would have never like walking around here because all the hills. I'm like, Jesus, I'm fat, I can't breathe. I could have walked around there for weeks.
I felt like I was in a movie set.
It did.
It felt like everybody was beautiful. Oh.
Well, I think too because everything is so old there. Like we have some old stuff here in America, but everything is old there, and it's just so beautiful and ornate. I had a great time.
In Charleston, probably.
Yeah,
But we don't go past a couple hundred years old.
I mean, some spots in New York.
In New York too.
Yeah, like the tiny ass bathrooms that they have.
Yeah.
That was another thing. Like the spaces were confined in Amsterdam.
Yeah. For sure.
But I did love how beautiful and clean it was. Like the transit system was good. Like I could live there.
Yeah. I was in New York City. I last week. Have you ever been to New York and done comedy and things there?
I did.
What are your thoughts on New York City as a comedy scene?
Man, if I could afford it, I would be there so fast.
Really?
Because I mean, we did so many shows in one night. Every single room was different. You never have to worry about seeing the same people or repeating a joke to anybody.
Yeah.
Like also didn't know if I was going to translate there or not. Like, I was nervous about being Southern and then being like, oh, she's dumb. But they ate it up.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great.
I did love it. I performed in all 5 boroughs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do this on like just a one weekend or week trip or something?
It was a week trip. It was a week trip that ended up turning into 2 weeks for me.
Yeah.
Because I got in an argument with this girl on like the New York City outdoor comedy page. Like, I posted a picture and I was like, hey, everybody, I'm famous. I'm in a movie. You want to book me on your show? And she was like, L. I was like, sorry, I didn't put it in SpongeBob font so you knew it was a joke.
She said ew.
Yeah, well, she was like, this is the kind of people where they're discussing. And then she's like, cool, you were an extra in a movie. And I was like, whoa,
bitch, I wasn't an extra.
I was like, hold on, little bitch. We need to talk about it. I'll meet you wherever, you know.
Talk, bro.
And she just kept coming back with nasty. And then all these people, she was unaware of the friends that I have there already. And so they're all like, what is happening right now? And then,
dude, I love it.
Because she was an asshole, all these other people was like, hey, you can be on my show this week, this day. I was like, hell yeah.
Dude, the drama.
Yeah. Because it kept coming up to the top of that whole feed every time she commented or. And she was like a baby open micer, like brand new, had just started. I'm like, oh, sweetie.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, it did make me mad.
Yeah.
I was like, don't insult me. Like, already it's difficult being a female in comedy. We're in the best place we've ever been currently, but it's still hard. And then especially with having a credit, like I'm just like, I've got something. This is what they said I had to have, and I got it. And you still gonna shit on me? That's fucked up.
Fuck that, dude. I'm glad you tore her up.
Well, I didn't have to. Other people did. I was just like, we can meet up and talk about it if you want to. That was my solution.
Oh, man.
Not that I would have fought. I couldn't imagine myself actually fighting.
Dude,
I was like,
I think you could.
Well, everybody else thinks I can. I am heavy-handed, but I wouldn't want to fight. Every almost fight I've ever been in, like
almost fight.
Yeah, because one time all I did was stand up and the girl ran the other way.
Yeah.
And then I picked this girl up by her elbows and put her on the wall. I was like, let my name fall out your mouth again. I swear to God. And that's because she started, well, she was a friend, I thought, and then she started sucking my boyfriend's penis. Yeah. And then they talked about it.
That's the girl you put on the wall?
Well, they talked about it, and like, because I had never done it at the time.
Yeah.
And my graphics teacher pulled me to the side and was like, hey, I don't know what you got going on, but you need to handle this because this is what they're saying about you. And I was like, what? And she's like, well, they said you use my teacher tells me that the kids said that I used my teeth too much when giving head.
Your
and
teacher
I was
said
like,
this?
yeah. And I was like, what's head? Because I didn't know.
Oh my
and
God.
She's like, see, Hillary, I knew you needed to talk about She's like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave out this door. I'll lock one door. She comes in to see him every class period that he's in my class. She's like, I'm going to go have some coffee. I'm like, oh, so I could beat her ass?
Yeah.
And she was going to let me beat her ass.
Oh my gosh.
But then she didn't come.
A message. You just put her up and just
well, she didn't come to the class, so I went upstairs to the common area to find her ass, and I knocked her books out of her. It was so dramatic.
What grade was this?
My junior year.
Okay.
Junior year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was a sophomore. And I knocked the books out of her hand. I picked her up by her elbows. I put her on the wall. And then the principal and my friend Corey like pulled me down. And they like made me go in the office. I'm like, I'm mad. No, I'm real mad. I was like, she talking shit.
Oh my gosh.
Man. But no, I don't ever like actually have to fight.
Yeah. I've never been in a fight before either. I punched my best friend in the face one time.
Yeah.
You have to
I
tell
gave my best friend a black eye with my titty one time by accident.
With your titty?
Yeah.
How do you
hadn't
do
seen
that?
her in a while, and she came running, and I was running, and I jumped to hug her, and it plopped her right in the eyeball.
Man.
Yeah, and her eye swelled shut. It was terrible.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy had a black eye the next day.
Yeah.
And I felt so guilty. Like after the fight happened, like we were drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
And after the fight, we both were like 2 hours later, like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I love you.
I
we were,
love you.
crying and
Yeah,
stuff.
see,
but he
I
still had to walk
witnessed-
around the next day with a fucked up eye. So like,
Yeah.
I was by his side and tried to not, have him explain it to everyone.
Yeah.
But
You should see the other guy. That was, I mean, my dad and my uncle used to get drunk and beat the shit out of each other all the time. So like,
drunk fights.
fighting is not. I don't like it.
I avoid it.
Yeah.
Because I'll still go out. Like, I won't
Yeah.
be drunk, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Every once in a while, you'll see guys come to blow. It is so.
Well, some people go out and, especially in South Carolina,
They wanna
these
fight.
fools. They're like, "We're gonna find us a fight tonight, boys." I'm like, if you don't chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Like, dude, how bored are you in life?
I
dude?
mean,
Do
but that would be
something
something my
else.
dad would be like,
Yeah.
He's like, Hillary, because I ask him to come to my shows sometimes, and he's like, Hillary, I can't go to your shows over there. And I'm like, why not? He's like, because I can't go to jail in Asheville. And I'm like, why are you already thinking you're going to jail? Like, this is crazy.
Is he pretty conservative politically?
Yeah, they all are.
He's-
I don't know any of my family that's not.
He's gonna see a Biden voter and be like, "Hey, don't
Oh,
talk
God,
to
he
me about
hates
pronouns or something."
Oh yeah,
Flip his
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, no.
I was playing. Well, Ian, my boyfriend, and I had gone over to visit him. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and so we were drinking a little bit, not even crazy drunk, but like drinking, and Ian put on Creedence Clearwater Revival, and my dad started dancing, and I was like, hell yeah! So I was gonna catch a video of him dancing,
Yeah.
and like he's dancing for a second, and then it just like switched, and he's like, turn that shit off. He's like, I was like, why? What's the big deal? He's like, I love CCR. I loved them. They was my jam.
And he
And
got
it
embarrassed?
broke my heart when I found out John Fogerty sucked cock. I was like, wait, did he try to suck your cock? Why are you so mad right now?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's
So you didn't want to be on camera either. He was embarrassed.
no, he didn't know I was filming.
Oh.
And then
okay.
I let it go, and he went on a 20-minute long rant.
oh, so
about
you got
how
it.
He hates. And I'm like, dude, Dad, this is not okay. And I'm drunk, but trying to argue with him. I was
Right.
like, what does it matter? You know I'm queer, right?
Oh my
He's
God.
like, you ain't fucking queer. He's a man. I was like, he ain't the only one I've been with. Like, I like women also. Why
Yeah.
are you crazy?
Yeah. Oh man. So
He's-
you have a boyfriend now? Are you dating?
Yes.
So you're still with, is that the same boyfriend you're with now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. This was last
This
year.
This is recent.
Yeah, this was just last
that was
year.
a while. Okay.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been dating?
Man. We have spent 6 Christmases together.
Oh, this is okay. This is a
Yeah.
real long-term
Yeah.
relationship.
I mean, we live here together, and
Yeah. Oh, he's here?
no, he's not here right now. He's at
Okay.
work.
Okay, gotcha.
He's at work like he's supposed to be. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Oh, man. So
but yeah.
how did y'all meet?
We both worked at the yacht club, and wow, this is fucked up.
Good.
Before we I was sleeping with a mutual friend of both of ours, and we were partying one night, and my friend Sarah Beth was there at the house, and she got mad because I guess I left her in the living room too long. And so she came and busted in the bedroom door while I'm in the midst of everything. And Ian was walking right behind her, and he walked in to see me mounted. And that was like, the beginning of it all.
He saw you with another. Oh
Uh-huh.
my. Oh my God.
It was a sore subject for a little while, but I mean, he's over it now. But I was also like, sorry. I didn't know.
Dude, walking
You
in on
know?
somebody having sex is very. I walked in on my buddy having sex one time.
It's uncomfortable.
And it was like a full view. It was in a college dorm.
Oh yeah.
We had those dorms where like it's like you share a toilet stall with the dorm next to you. I don't know if you can picture that.
Yeah.
There's like a
Jack
shower.
and Jill.
Yeah.
I think is what
so you
it's
have a
called.
sink in your own room. But,
Yeah.
And it was like I was done studying for whatever, and we were gonna watch South Park. It was Wednesday, and I was like, okay, we're gonna watch South Park with Danko. Like,
Yeah.
So I walked into the dorm. The TV was on. And there was like nobody in there. I was like, okay, what's going on? And then I like went through that bathroom door to the other door, and he was just him and some girl.
Yeah.
Full, like yeah. And he looked at me and he wasn't even upset. He was like, oh hey Dave.
Yeah. Oh hey.
And the girl was like,
no, get out of here.
I was like, I closed the door and I ran away.
I've had several experiences walking in on things that I wasn't supposed to walk in on, like, and two different ones had laundry baskets involved. Like, I was a kid pre-7 years old because pre-8 because my dad was still there, but my mom had sent me with a laundry basket to take to their bedroom, and I take it back there. My dad's like starfished out in the middle of the floor, ready and waiting for my mother. And I was like, oh God, I dropped the basket and ran. And then fast forward to like 11, 12, maybe not 13, like 11, 12. And he was dating this other woman. And she was in the bedroom and she called him to bring her the laundry basket. And he was playing video games with my brother and my stepbrothers. So he sent me with the laundry basket. And here I go. And she's all displayed out looking like the hippopotamus from Fantasia. She was just waiting. And I was like, oh, my bad. She goes, fuck, Robert. I dropped the basket and dipped out. Too much.
Oh, my gosh. Well.
Too much.
Yes, it is. It is a lot. So, you guys, I'm trying to find a date and do comedy at the same time. Has that been hard?
A date?
No, not a date. I kind of want to get in a relationship.
Oh, okay. You're looking for love.
I just said that like I don't fucking know. But like I always like to hear comics that are in long-term relationships because it's like working out. It's like not always easy for everybody.
It is not always easy.
How is he? He's not a comic, right?
He absolutely not.
No.
But
he's
he is
supportive.
not a comic.
Does he come to your shows?
He does sometimes. He does more now that I've bitched about him not coming to them on stage for so long.
Yeah.
See, like, I'm always going to talk about my life and what is real in my everyday shit. And so sometimes he comes up and sometimes I'll be mad,
Yeah.
I'm also talking about him when I'm happy though.
Right, for sure.
And I think he gets that.
Yeah.
I think he's okay with it. I mean, we got into an argument this morning because of money, and I'm like, "Do you not even believe in me? Like, this is an investment." So it gets a little.
That gets hard for sure.
Yeah.
And all the time you have to spend doing it.
Right. But I mean, I think he doesn't mind when I go on the road because then I don't bitch about him playing the fucking video game all the time, So he's like, hell yeah, house to myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're making it work.
Yeah.
Do you game? You a big gamer?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
That's good.
I like
suck
board
at video
games.
I
like board games, or like I like to do things where we're interacting and talking to each other. That's what, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Sitting over here watching you play some damn game. Like, he's like, but we can share this moment. He said, I think you'll really like it. The storyline's really cool on this one. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Also, I can't do it. Is maybe the problem? Like, I remember playing the regular Mario Nintendo with the rectangle thing, and rectangle remote, and I could do that, and I liked doing that as a kid. But like now, if I do these first person games, I can't control. I just look at the sky.
Yeah,
like I can't go forward. I just end up looking at the sky. And game.
Yeah, I have a buddy in my building, or he used to live in my building, and he would be like, dude, let's play video games. He'd invite me down to play Super Smash Brothers or something, and all he wanted to, and I would just suck, and he just wanted, like, he'd enjoy.
He wanted to win?
Just kicking my ass. Like, he just got, yeah. And, yeah, but I've always sucked at video games. That's why I didn't like them as a kid.
Yeah.
My little brothers would beat me. But, anyway. Well, I don't know. What time is it?
Time for us to go to the mic.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean,
it's 7:20.
Yeah.
Oh, time flies. Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, this will come out. Is there anything you want to shout out, Hillary?
When do you think this is going to come out?
This will come out in probably 4 weeks.
4
from
weeks
today. So
okay, then
mid-March.
Mid-March.
While we move it up in the order,
No.
You're a big deal. I mean, this is,
No,
you know.
I mean, don't do anything. But you do you, boo. I was just gonna say if it was gonna be like this coming week, then I had a show. But also in 4 weeks, the end of March, whatever the last Saturday night of March is, there will be 2 shows because I run 2 different shows on the last Saturday of the month. One at the Girl and Goblin Tattoo Shop at 8:00, and then one at midnight at the Haywood Country Club.
Okay.
Both of them are free. The first one, you can bring your own booze. It's fantastic. Don't come if you're scared of taxidermy, but
Right?
also
Watch
it's totally cool. Yeah, watch Dumplin'.
Watch Dumplin'. It's great. It's got an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a fantastic movie. And well, I'm not quite done, but I literally teared up during it too.
Yeah, you will. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. It's a great movie. Ann Fletcher is the director, and she was amazing.
And you also have, like, if people want to, like, follow your content and stuff, is Instagram the best thing? I'll link all of your stuff.
I mean, I just finally, my Facebook got hacked when we were in Hawaii, and it ruined it. Like, I don't even like to look at it anymore because it's just not. It's not the same people. It's not what I've curated. I don't get any of my memories. Like, it's so dumb.
So you have a new Facebook?
I have a new Well, I have the one I've had for, since 2021 now.
Oh, that sucks when you have to start over
Ooh,
Facebook.
yeah,
I just started over
know.
once, but all my old pictures
But
now,
it was all after Dumplin' too. So, like, I had people were following. That's how I was going on tour. And
so the Dumplin' followers were on the old Facebook?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
I mean,
bullshit.
most of them have found me again. And, like, my Instagram is the best way, though, I think. And then it'll link you to everything else,
For sure. And you got merch, too.
I do at hilarious.com.
Hilarious.
HIGHLARRIOUS. The 2 R's because the 1 R was taken. But, yeah, hilarious.com. I have merch on there, bongs, T-shirts, cups. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much for doing this. It was really
thank you
fun.
for having me.
Yeah.
For coming to my house.
Yeah, awesome. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Aren't we, everybody? This is a good time. We're all having fun. Smile. Smile like you're having fun. Smile, goddammit. Hey, don't fucking touch that.